Hi everybody, Levi Clay here, and today we are going to be talking about the subject of practice. Now, this is one of the things that I have been asked about more so than anything else on my YouTube channel, and especially via my private lessons with my students on Skype. And that is, Levi, what should I be practicing? What should my practice routine look like? And of course, that's always going to be a case by case basis. It's always going to depend on the student in question. It's always going to depend on what your needs are, but we can certainly talk about things that you should practice and how you should practice those things. So, today, in order to celebrate the release of my new weekly guided practice sessions, which we will hear more of in a second, I'm going to talk to you about Guitar Pro, using Guitar Pro as a practice tool, and how you can implement things such as repeats and speed trainers and things like that to really help take your playing to the next level. So let's take a look at some of the exercises from my weekly guided practice routine, week number 2. Looks like this. So what I have on screen for you here is the guitar profile for my weekly guided practice routine, week number 2. And the idea behind a weekly guided practice routine is, in learning piano, the thing that I've found to drive me forward more so than anything else has been daily guided practice sessions with my instructor. So not just practicing things on my own, but really sitting through a full practice routine with the instructor and practicing along with them. I find it incredibly inspirational and very motivational, actually. It encourages me to practice things that I wouldn't necessarily practice of my own volition. And of course, your instructors know the things that you need to practice, not the things that you want to practice. So every week on my weekly guided practice routines on Patreon, link in the description, I'm creating a routine that you get to practice along with me on, obviously full video and transcription of everything. But I'm creating a guitar profile along with, actually, there's a write-up for each routine explaining what you're practicing and, more importantly, why you're practicing it, your learning objectives. But the guitar profiles are really useful in their own right. Now, of course, I'm showing you how you could use these as part of the weekly guided practice routines, but this skill is absolutely applicable for any guitar profile that you have. You can use these skills to help develop your practice routines no matter what the file is. So if we just take a look at this file in particular, if I look at the, let's just start with this alternate picking arpeggio. Now, the first thing that's worth considering in Guitar Pro is being able to use repeats. Now, the idea of the practice routine is that you should be able to press play at the start and it will play down to the end with repeats in the right place, so you can practice along from start to finish and get a good workout. But if you want to isolate an exercise and just work on something in particular, the best place to go is up here. Now, you can see me clicking this button up here. This is the simple repeat. So enable loop. And when that loop is enabled, anything you highlight will repeat. So if I press play, if I highlight this section here, this basic arpeggio, and I press play, that's just going to repeat. Nice and simple. And you can absolutely use that as a practice tool, right? I might bring my guitar up and get practicing. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and... You get the idea. So you could do that for endless amounts of time, and it would be a reasonably good use of your time. Well, I guess depending on the exercise, of course. Now, that's, as I say, this is just a basic loop. Now, I think the first thing you will have noticed when practicing that is, well, Levi, that wasn't very challenging. And that's absolutely right. At that speed, this isn't challenging whatsoever. We want this to be faster than this. So a great way round that would be to change the speed of the transcription. So if you click on the tempo marking up here, currently this is engaged now and it's playing at 100% speed. But if you click that drop down menu next to it, you can adjust the speed. We can change the speed of the recording or of the guitar profile. So if I go in for a custom value and click a relative speed, this was obviously way too slow for me. So if I put that speed up to say 186% speed, what we're going to find now when I hit play on this, it's going to play much faster. Now, in order to help you get the count-ins for these, I would encourage you, let's highlight it, I would encourage you to click this button up here. So when you hover over this, this is activate or deactivate a count-in. This is just going to give you a count-in. So now when I press play, it's going to be faster, right? And we should get a good workout working on this, right? Now, I love that as a practice tool. It totally does the job for me, and is a great way to encourage you to practice something, but also check that what you're playing is correct. You know, I'm playing along to the MIDI, and therefore I know that what I'm playing is done correctly. But to be honest, is that enough? Why not? Why don't we have a little bit more of a challenge here? Why don't we have a little bit of fun? So back up here, some of you may have seen it. When I clicked on this drop-down menu, what you also saw under custom values was a progressive speed marker. Now this is really cool because we can really decide how and what we want to play. So if I take my basic speed, this is from our from speed. So because this particular transcription is quite slow, I'm going to start at 100% speed, and we're aiming to get to 200. Let's say 220% speed ish. Make it 220, which is quite a speed increase. I want it to increase in speed by, let's say, 10% every 2 repeats. So now I've set up a basic speed trainer for myself. Now, when I do this and highlight this one bar like this, it's going to increase in speed by 10% every single time it gets through the repetitions twice. So I'll bring up my guitar. That should work like this. 2, 3. Can we make it all the way through? Definitely pushing it a little bit fast there. Now when we get to the end of that loop, it's now going to continue playing at that top speed. So of course, in this particular example, this may not be the most useful thing for you because the transcription that we're working with starts at a slow speed. But if you were looking at a transcription of something else that you were looking to learn, like for example, if I bring up a transcription that I worked on yesterday, which was the Brett Garsed minor thirds thing, one of the licks that I really enjoyed in this was this. So this sounds really cool if you ever listen to it. Now, if I just took that lick, I could do the same basic thing, right? Now at 100% speed, it's absolutely fine. Now using my speed trainer, I can actually, for example, have it start at 70% speed. This is going to allow us to work up to getting that. So let's give that a try. It's going to sound like this. Forget that again. Get the idea. Now, I really, really enjoy that. Of course, the struggle that you may find is that when doing this, when working on a lick like this, you might find that the speed increases happen too rapidly. So one of the things that you can do in order to toy around with that is under your metronome setting, which is over here, between loops, we can actually introduce a count in and how big of a gap we want that to be. So if we want there to be a 1 bar gap between each time we play this, this should work now. that when I loop this at my slow speed, at 70% speed, between each speed there should be a gap for me. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. And it's increasing speed, right? 4. 3, 4. Great lick, right? 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Bring myself up so we can see. 1, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Now I'm there with it, right? I've got it. At 100% speed. Now, of course, we want to make our life just a little bit more challenging. Maybe we take this off. Let's put it on a custom value. Let's put it on at a relative speed. And now let's speed train ourselves. Let's see if we can do it 120% speed. So faster than the original. Same idea. We'll have a gap in between each repeat now. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Oh, off there. 2, 3, 4. 120%. 120% speed. 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. Okay, cool. So, at its core, Guitar Pro can be used as a wonderful way of augmenting our practice sessions. In theory now, we should be able to practice anything we like. Now, what I'm going to do just to close up is I'm going to do the end of this practice routine so you can really get a feel for what doing a guided practice routine is like. I'm going to increase the speed on this one actually, just because at this speed it's definitely a bit slow. I want it to be a little bit more challenging, right? So if we do it at 150% speed, and I'm just going to go from here and do these bottom 5 lines of the practice routine. It's going to sound something like this. Hopefully this works. Hopefully we can do this, right? 1, 2, 3. Oh, sorry, it's a bar 3, 4 there. 1, 2, 3. Straight on to the next exercise. Repeat. Next exercise. Get the exercise right. Repeating. Thinking about the next exercise. Oh, it's fast. So I'm struggling with that one at that speed because, you know, not intended to do it at this speed. So again, let's jump in using our practice tools. Let's bring this down to 120% speed and go again, setting up that loop. 1, 2, 3. So definitely a wonderful practice tool. Something that can really be used to help take your practice routines, help take your practice sessions to the next level. Being efficient, making sure that you're using your time as best as possible by watching my videos, for example. So lastly, I'm just going to say a huge thank you to my wonderful supporters over on Patreon. If you want to be like these guys and get access to weekly guided practice routines, have private lessons with me, get your name in the credits to my video, download transcriptions, and of course, get access to my private Facebook group, that is the place to do it. So please do go and check me out. Patreon link in the description. If that doesn't suit, you can also head on over to Amazon and check out one of my books. Got many books available. Maybe I do practice routines and guitar profiles for those books at some point. Definitely a great way to develop your playing. I'm sure you will agree. Thanks so much for watching this video, guys. I hope you do go and check out those guided practice routines and let me know how you get on with them. Much love, and I will see you for another video soon. Laters.